I imagine a community where every child has an access to a quality education, where roads are safe and well constructed, and where disaster response is quick, and where peso is accounted for. This is the kind of community what people dream of. A place where governance is not measured by words, but by the impact it leaves to the people's lives. So in the Philippines, this dream is guided and measured through a challenge given to a local government unit, and that is the seal of good local governance. So I am Princess Jane Ayamalet, and I will be your presenter of Seal of Good Local Governance. So what is Seal of Good Local Governance? The Seal of Good Local Governance is an award and recognition program for all local government units. According to the Department of the Interior and Local Government Unit, government, the SGLG is a continuing commitment of LGUs to uphold good governance and improve performance and pursue general welfare of our constituents. The seal of good local governance is like a report card. For example, a municipality, if a municipality has meet the 10 assessment areas, then they pass the SGLG. SGLG also, it is a tool for improving our local government unit to have a good governance, improve their performance, and also to provide the welfare of their people. So in 2010 2013, the seal of good housekeeping, then it was changed, it was evolved to 2014, the seal of good local governance. The difference between the two is the seal of good housekeeping, it is more on focus on the accountability and financial, while the seal of good local governance, it is more broader and more comprehensive assessment where it has disaster preparedness, youth development, and more. And then, in April 12, 2018, Republic Act 11292, the Seal of Good Local Governance, it was institutionalized, an act establishing institutionalizing the Seal of Good Local Governance for local government units and allocating for this purpose the Seal of Good Local Governance. 1. So, before the passage of this Republic Act 11292, it was just SGLG, it was just a flagship program for the DILG. But when it was institutionalized, then the local government unit was not just encouraged, but are now legally bound to strive for and comply with the governance standards set under this act. And then, these are the Council of Good Local Governance, which they are the policy-making body and advisory body to ensure the proper implementation of SGLG. The LG, the DPM, the DOF, the DOH, the DSWD, the DepEd, the DOT, the DNR, the MEGA, and the Office of Civil Defense, and one representative from basic sectors to be nominated by the National Anti-Poverty Commission. And then, what is the difference between the Council and the DILG? So, the Council, they are the one who make policies and standards to be in order na makabasa ang LGU sa gisat sa standards for Council, makabasa ang sa SGLG. And then, develop and reviews indicator, which means it is creating or checking the standard if it will be used or it has an impact to the local government unit, and evaluates the impact of SGLG, which what is they study what is the impact of SGLG to the local governance. It has a positive impact or not. And then they are the one who submit annual reports to the president who passed the SGLG. And the DILG, they are the one who implement policies. They are the one who implement the implementer policies made by the council, and they're the one also to assess and evaluate the LGU. They are the one who conduct physical evaluation performance in the LGU, and they are the one who endorse also the qualified LGUs who pass the SGLG and coordinates with agencies where evaluation of SGLG is to be fair. And then there are 10 assessment areas: the financial administration, disaster preparedness, social protection and sensitivity programs, health compliance and responsiveness program, and for sustainable education, business friendliness and competitiveness, safety, peace and order, environmental management, tourism, heritage development, culture, arts, youth development. So first, let's talk about the financial administration. This refers to the conditions where an LGU demonstrates positive and stable economic performance and maintains, preserve, and mandatorily uphold the practice of fiscal discipline, accountability, and transparency by adhering to budgetary rules, public financial management, generally accepted and recognized accounting and auditing standards, and full disclosure policy. So their LGU should handle, so in this area, they look if the LGU, if how they handle its funds wisely by following budgetary rules, practicing sound public financial management, and complying with accounting and auditing standards. So, what are the key indicators? The issuance of unqualified and qualified opinion on the financial statement of an LGU by Commission on Audit or the COA in the immediately preceding year. So when we say unqualified, this is the best grade. While qualified, it is fine, but there are some errors in their statements. And full strict exact compliance with the full disclosure policy of the local budget and finances, bids, and public offerings, and posting financial documents required to be posted in FDP portal in the local government local government website where the people did not dili na sila mag-adto pa sa munisipyo or sa terminal para lang makita ang full disclosure policy, which is ginaran na siya sa internet. And then the disaster preparedness. So this refers to an LGU's preparedness for any disaster, natural or man-made calamity by adopting relevant plans, by taking proactive actions, and building its capacity to respond effectively to emergencies when needed. So this they assess how LGU handle if the calamity happened. So they look for the plans where we should put the people if there's calamity. And then there are key indicators include having structures, plans, systems in place for disasters, and availability of provincial development physical framework plan, comprehensive land use plan, disaster risk reduction and management plan, contingency plan, and then local climate change action plan. The availability of provincial, these are the roadmap for safety in the area, and then availability of working early warnings and evacuation alert system, where this is talks about mga early sirens or kanang mga text sa NDRNC bitawagan na ng text sa if there is a calamity happen, and being an awardee of the National Gawad Kalasag for Best Local Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council. And then the social protection and sensitivity program. This refers to an LGU sensitivity and responsiveness to the needs of its constituents, recognizing and upholding the rights and privileges, particularly those belonging to the vulnerable or disadvantaged sectors, such as, but not limited to, women, children, indigenous people, elderly, persons with disability, and informal. So it looks also the LGU if there have programs para sa violence against women and children, providing access for PWD citizens and pregnant women in frontline services. Third, enhancing mobility of PWDs in public infrastructure like local government centers and hospitals in accordance with the accessibility law, and mandatory representation of indigenous people in compliance with the Indigenous People Rights Act 1987, and then the compliance with the mandatory representation of the Sangguniang with the representative accorded to regular privilege and emoluments of Sangguniang member, which is there is a representation of mga kabataan in the local government, which also allows to appeal sa mga decision making. In presence, at least one accredited LGU managed residential care facility for vulnerable sectors, which there are mga house para sa mga abuse para sa mga abuse kailang shelter, and then representation from NGOs in the local development council and other special bodies consistent with the pertinent provisions of local government code. And then second is the health compliance and responsiveness, and this refers to the LGU capacity to effectively implement and deliver health services and information systems, as well as pursue evidence-based health promotion and protection policies scientifically proven and accepted to advance population health and individual well-being, reduce the prevalence of non-communicable disease and risk factors, lower the incidence of new infectious disease, address mental health issues, and improve health status through life course. So, in health compliance and responsiveness, LGU, they look at how they effectively deliver health services in their community, if it is effective or not. And then there are key indicators include ensuring access to nutrition, safe and affordable food, regularly conducting physical activities in communities and schools, and strict enforcement of laws and ordinances that regulate tobacco sale, use and harmful alcohol consumptions, and use of illicit drugs, like for example is no smoking, and providing access to safe water sanitation, and then implementing immunization program, ensuring access to primary health care, including prevention programs for hypertension, diabetes, and cancer, and the last one is establishing a local surveillance epidemiology system to monitor health service delivery. So which means that there are mga studies para if umabot na itong mga disease, then they will solve it. And then the programs for sustainable education. This refers to the initiatives of an LGU to institute education reforms and programs, provide equal access to quality education, promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, foster sports development, and instill leadership and patriotism among the youth, and is demonstrated by positive changes in the behavior performance of individuals, citizens, and communities as a whole. So this assessment is LGU must have an initiative. LGU must have an initiative to promote equality education in their community. These are the key indicators include increased participation rate of students, then decreased number of dropouts, as well as of school youths, and increased cohort survival rates. Cohort survival rates, it is grade 1 to grade 6 or high school ganun. And then increase in achievement scores and measured by the national test or assessment tools, and establishment of child development centers, support to special education, and alternative learning system and parent effectiveness services program, where may mga daycare in order na mga bata and for new opportunities and skills. And then business friendliness and competitiveness. So this LGU, this refers to the LGU unconventional initiative to encouraging local investment together with the local business enterprises and working sectors through adoption of policies, programs, systems, structures, or local legislations that attract or create investment opportunities and promote a business climate conducive to a sustainable business growth, no? Whereas, kasi mga initiatives sa LGU para ma-attract ang mga business owners na mag-business diri sa atuang LGU. So these are the key indicators: adoption of simplified business processing and licensing system, tracking of economic data and locality, and sharing the same with investors. And then designation of local economic investment promotion officer or its equivalent. The fourth one is it is existence of updated citizen charter. When we say citizen charter, it is a document. It is a document where may mga government para kung kailangan sila makita na sila ka ng government services, something. It is a document where it explains how to avail government services, how long they take, and what requirement they are needed. Adoption and maintenance of updated local investment incentive code, and then the good governance in business promotion as shown by the result of business friendliness and competitiveness assessment by the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry or the National Competitiveness Council. So now let's talk. Next is the safety, peace, and order. This refers to the condition where an LGU established good and respectable performance in terms of maintaining peace and order in the community as demonstrated by reduced crime rate, effective anti-illegal drugs campaign, and efficient traffic management, among others, through implementation of activities, programs, policies, and appropriate provisions of support mechanism to ensure the safety and protection of its constituents from injuries and necessary threats of life, security, and property. So, LGU, ginassess ng LGU today by how the LGU initiate create programs to protect the people, especially the vulnerable sector. And then these are the key indicators: adapting a local anti-criminality plan or peace and order public safety plan, providing logistic and financial support to the local police. Like for example, ganang financial support is also they can makapalit sila ng mga equipment para sa ilahang mga operation. And then convening regularly and local peace and order council, establishing a functional local anti-drug abuse council, establishing and implementing a community-oriented policy mechanism. And then the next one is the environmental management. This refers to the LGU initiative to institute policies and programs that consistently and significantly preserve environment with primary focus on solid waste management and ecological balance, as well as mitigation and adaptation to a climate change. So when the LGU ay ginasas ang LGU derived of mga initiative to mga programs para kung mga initiatives and programs na maka-protect sa atong environment ug sa atwa. And then these are the key indicators include advancing local policy programs of action of environment impact assessment, promoting this environmental impact assessment where kanang mga initiative or kanang mga programs they assess it if it is kanang have an impact to the people. taas pa din siya. So, the next one is the tourism, heritage, development, culture, and arts. This refers to an LGU's ability to promote and protect Philippine identity through local heritage and culture, or local legacy in terms of preserving the cultural, historical, and indigenous significance of the community, marketing then the characteristic which the LGU is known or recognized for and attracting foreign and local visitors and tourists. So this ginanataw ang local an LGU by how we preserve our culture. Like for example, ito is katong book festival. And then key indicators is the presence of local tourism officer or designated officers, which they're the one who guide the tourists, and the establishment of Tourist Information Assistance Center, which is na dito sa terminal, and establishment of tracking system, tourism data, presence of the local council for promotion of culture and the arts, approval and implementation of a budget appropriated for the conservation and preservation of the cultural property, and existence to an updated cultural property inventory of LGU. And then the last one is the youth development. This refers to an LGU ability to promote, establish adequate, effective, responsive, enabling mechanism and support system that will ensure the meaningful participation of youth in local governance and nation building. So this, ginanatawang LGU if there is a representation between in the youth, which means that the young they did not na representation sa mga young, which ang mga young is they have they allow to participate in decision making. And then these are the key indicators: adopting local youth development programs, and establishing local youth development council, providing youth development office, which shall be headed by the youth